Hey guys, this is Invoked 101, and so last night I got back from the Lenexa Regional in Lenexa, Kansas. It was played at Collector's Cache, which was an amazing game store. They were such a big just event area. The store was actually fantastic. The employees were great. Mio talked to them a lot more than I did, and I interacted with one guy. His name was Rick. He was super helpful. He was the nicest guy. It was awesome. So he was great. I'll have Mio come on and talk about her experience more with the store. But we found a lot of really good cards, a lot of really good items for pretty good prices, in my opinion. We got the Shining Victories playmat that, if you follow our Instagram, you'll know that we ordered from someone else, didn't get it, had to get a refund from them. So, and we got that at the Lenexa Regional. We got 3 packs of sleeves there. Mio found some Blackluster Soldiers for her Demise deck. And as well as that, I also ran into people who not only did I see at the Tulsa Regional, I ran into some people I saw from the Sioux City locals, so shout out to those guys. Always great to see them. Did some rad trades with a few people, not too many people, but a few. So I ended up getting like a Solemn Strike. I got another playset of both incantations, a Totem Bird. I didn't trade too much at this event. I don't really trade at regionals. I go to play, but I did get some good trades. As far as the regional itself went, so the store was great, the trades were great, the games and the players weren't great, and so that does sound kind of like a salty thing, but at this regional, the judges were kind of garbage. I went with Gara of Benton 10, who went with me, and he posted his video, and I'm kind of copying his idea, so I'm sorry, bud. And he came over to us, and he was kind of tilted, and he was like, yeah, the judge came over, said one thing that I couldn't do, and then came back halfway through game 2 and said he had messed up, and I was like, that's so dumb. There was also reports of the head judge giving game losses for players trying to appeal their rulings for either rule sharking or aggressive plays, something like that is what I was told. So I was like, oh my god. So the judges were being awful, and as well as that, the players didn't seem very like at the Tulsa Regional. I had fun the entire time. There's actually some vlog footage, and like, so if you look at the vlog footage of the Tulsa Regional, there's only one time I get salty at the Tulsa Regional, and that's after we find out that the event doesn't go along as far as it does, and that's like nothing. But the rest of the footage, I'm pretty happy and upbeat, at least in my opinion. No one here made, like, I felt super unwelcomed and just like hated by every player that I sat down across. There was a Burning Abyss player I played who was really nice, and there was a 6 Sam player I played who just had, the 6 Sam player had the most amazing attitude out of anyone I met there. So shout out to him, and shout out to the Burning Abyss player. I think I plugged my channel to you. He had a friend who was a Dark Magician player as well, so shout out to him as well. They're super cool guys. I'm shouting everyone out and I don't know their names. But I just felt that the regional itself was really bad, while everything around it was really good. Like I left. There was very few times in my career of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've been like, I should quit. And usually that takes place over the course of a month. That's why I had my month hiatus, is because I didn't feel like playing the game anymore. I didn't want to, I didn't have as much drive for the game. This was the first event or the first time that I ever went, like, just like flipped. I was like, I just don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Like, I was like, I don't want to play this game. And so, like, that hurts when an event that you get excited for makes you feel that way. For the most part, it was okay. Driving 3 hours to get there kind of sucked. There was 183 people here, which was that was like half the size of the Tulsa Regional, about, because Tulsa Regional was 341 people. So and so there was only one less round. There was only 8 rounds for this one. I dropped after I went X4, which makes me more sound like a salty Yu-Gi-Oh player. But if you watch Gara of Benton 10's video, he also talks about, he played all 8 rounds, and he talks about how the judges were and how the event itself kind of sucked, but everything around it was really good, which is really strange. Overall, I actually had a really good time when I was talking to the employees who worked there. They were super helpful. They were as helpful as they could be. So I'm going to step out and I'm going to have Mio come in.
Alrighty, so I've never done this before. I've never really sat in front of a camera before and talked, so this is going to be a little weird. I may be looking off to the side because I don't even look at people. But in all honesty, my personal experience at Lenexa, I didn't play at the regionals. I haven't really played in a tournament in quite a few months just because, I don't know, there's a lot of pressure on girls to either, you know, if they're going to play, they have to be really, really, really good, or they shouldn't play at all. And that's just kind of like the vibe that I get, especially at regionals. As I didn't play though, I looked around for any opportunities to make this vlog better than the one that we got at Tulsa, Tulsa, but I just wasn't able to. There wasn't any, in Tulsa there was this huge hallway full of beautiful art. I was able to capture it and make it into a really nice flowing format for the vlog. This one was, you walked in and immediately there was hundreds of chairs set out for everyone to be ready to duel. So luckily I found, like, as Nod said, I found a little crack that I could vlog in. I immediately went up to the head judges and said, hey, if you don't mind, there's this tiny area all the way in the back. It's raining outside, so I can't really take my camera out there. May I vlog over there? And their immediate response was, oh, well, that's not a question for us. You gotta go ask the store manager. And I was like, what? But Konami doesn't allow you to vlog anywhere. So, I mean, in that aspect, I was happy. But I immediately went up to the store owner and I asked him. He said that it was perfectly fine. And immediately, one of the employees came up to me and he said, hey, if you do this and you don't curse or anything, we will give your channel a shout out. We have our own channel where we talk about all the new cards and all the new duels and everything. We even have our own guys live streaming this regional right now. And I was like, okay, that's amazing, you know. And of course we'll shout you out too. They didn't shove anyone's issues aside. There was at one point where I thought I lost my phone while I was buying some cards, and they immediately got on it, told every single one of their employees to watch out. Luckily, I was just crazy and it was in a different pocket inside my backpack, but to see them working so hard to make sure that this regional ran as smoothly as possible was just phenomenal. They are a wonderful place. Players wise, well, I walked in and there was some tension. You know, there's always going to be a little tension at regionals, but I could tell that some of the players were just walking around like they had like the highest honor bestowed upon them. There was this one guy there, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to start anything, but there was this one guy who there was not a single round, all through 8 rounds. I saw him within the first 10 minutes of that round. He would just be walking around. And I was like, are you tying every match? Like there isn't even a single FTK deck that just every single round can kill you within the first 10 minutes. So I was like, are you paying them off? Are you tying every round? What are you doing? And one of the employees came up and he said, actually it was the head judge. And he knew his name, and he was like, hey, enter name here, you're not going to win if you're not actually playing every round. And he said, well, I only really need the 3 national invites. And I was like, what a cocky a-hole. Not technically a curse word. But still, a lot of the players they were not very friendly. I did happen to meet some of the more friendly ones. They were up for trading, they were up for just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Some of them came around because obviously I wasn't playing. Whenever they were done, I would duel them. And some of them, I would have like a little crowd and they would be like, I had one guy he was playing my speed droids, and he'd never played speed droids before. So they came around and they're like, "Hey man, can I help you out a little?" And I was like, "Yeah, help him out all you want. Like, it'd be a great learning experience, right?" So some of them were really great. Sadly, the majority of them were not. They kind of kept to themselves. They seemed really bitter. They smelled bad. But I mean, what are you gonna do? My experience at Lenexa was amazing, but my experience was with the store, so not necessarily the regional.
Alright, so all in all, I think it was okay. I definitely enjoyed going to the store. Like, if I'm ever in like the Kansas City, Lenexa area ever again, I definitely want to go check out that store when they're not having a regional. I would love to go there and maybe even play in their locals. I think that would be super fun. But as far as going to another Lenexa regional, I don't think I'm ever going to go to another Lenexa regional. I don't really have the drive to go to another regional anymore, which is really unfortunate, and it's no fault of the store itself, like I said. And we're not saying that just because the store is giving us a shout out. We're not shouting them out or saying all this great stuff about them because we got paid. We did not get paid. We're not saying it because they're shouting us out. They are shouting us out, but that's awesome, and that's just them being generous. I'm saying all of it because we're saying all of it because the store was genuinely amazing. But as far as the regional itself goes, it just wasn't. You see that when you go to your first regional and it was that Tulsa regional, and it was fantastic. You know, X3, you're pretty hyped because you played 9 rounds and you got X3. You only lost 3 times. You got 59th out of 341 people. You're pretty hyped to go to a second one. And then you go to the second one and it's this kind of crowded area filled with these smelly, bitter players, and it's kind of like, well, this is why people don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Here in the States. And so if you haven't seen the video of our interview with Rick from Collector's Cash, go check it out. He talks all about how they set it up, how they set it up, how they got it going, what they did, and he also just offers insight into the game. He had such a positive attitude, and it was great getting a video from him. It was great getting the assistance that we did from him. So go check him out. Check out that video. Anyway, in total, all in all, final words, Lenexa Regional was at Collector's Cash in Lenexa, Kansas. The store was great. The people who worked at the store were great. And that was awesome. The regional itself, the players, the judges weren't very great. I did have bad experiences with that part. And all in all, I thought the entire regional was okay. If you want more great Yu-Gi-Oh! Content from me, consider supporting me on Patreon. There's a link in the description below. Just that $1 a month gets you access to the Discord, gets your name shouted out in the next video after you become a Patreon, and there's so many perks for the different tiers. So if you want to be part of that and you want to support me, go ahead and support me on Patreon. Also, if you're new to the channel and this is the first video you're watching, go ahead and click subscribe if you want to keep up with everything we're doing. I post deck profiles, I post live duels, I do collab videos. There's a whole lot of stuff that we do on this channel, so if you're interested in that and keeping up with it, just follow this, click subscribe in the below.